Welcome back to the Think Tank. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'm sure you've heard the news. Remember when you thought trade wars were something you'd only read about in history books? Those black and white photos and grainy newsreels of past economic battles seemed like ancient history, right? Well, buckle up, because we're living in one right now. The headlines are no longer just about the past. They're happening in real time, affecting our daily lives in ways we never imagined. The United States just slapped some hefty tariffs on goods from our neighbors, Mexico and Canada, and our economic frenemy, China. These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're real policies with real consequences. And let me tell you, things are about to get interesting. These tariffs are basically taxes on imported goods, and they can shake up the market in unexpected ways. When the government imposes these taxes, it can lead to a ripple effect throughout the economy. So that fancy new phone you've been eyeing from China, the one with all the latest features and sleek design, yeah, it's about to get a whole lot more expensive. The price hike isn't just a small bump, it could be significant enough to make you reconsider your purchase. And those avocados you love so much from Mexico, the ones that make your guacamole so delicious and your toast so Instagram-worthy, get ready to pay through the nose for your guacamole fix. The cost of these everyday items can add up quickly, hitting your wallet where it hurts. Now, the government says these tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and businesses. They argue that by making imported goods more expensive, consumers will turn to domestically produced alternatives. But some folks are worried this whole thing might backfire, leading to higher prices for everyone and maybe even a full-blown trade war. Critics argue that these tariffs could lead to retaliation from other countries, escalating tensions and hurting global trade. So grab your hard hats, folks, because we're diving deep into the wild world of tariffs. We'll explore the complexities of these economic policies and their far-reaching impacts. We'll break down who's putting tariffs on what, why they're doing it, and what it all means for your wallet. Stay tuned. This is a story that affects us all, and understanding it is the first step in navigating these turbulent economic waters. Okay, let's break down this tariff mess. Tariffs can be confusing, but we're here to make it simple for you. First up, we've got Mexico. It's one of the United States' biggest trading partners. The United States has slapped tariffs on a whole bunch of Mexican goods, including steel, aluminum, and agricultural products like tomatoes and avocados. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. These tariffs can impact everything from the price of your guacamole to the cost of building materials. Next, we have Canada, our friendly neighbors to the north. Our neighbors to the north are also feeling the heat with tariffs on, you guessed it, steel and aluminum. These tariffs can affect industries on both sides of the border, making everything from cars to construction more expensive. And don't forget about those Canadian lumber imports. Lumber is a big deal for the construction industry. They're more expensive now too. This means higher costs for building homes and other structures. And then there's China. Remember that trade war we mentioned earlier? It's been a major point of contention. Well, China is public enemy number one in this trade saga. The tariffs between the US and China have been some of the most significant. The United States has imposed tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods, from electronics and machinery to clothing and footwear. This affects a wide range of products that we use every day. It's enough to make your head spin, right? The complexities of international trade can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we're here to guide you through this labyrinth of economic jargon. Stick with us, and we'll help you understand how these tariffs impact your daily life and the global economy. So, why is the United States government throwing a tariff tantrum? What are the underlying reasons for this aggressive trade policy? Well, they've got their reasons, even if not everyone agrees with them. The motivations are complex and multifaceted, involving economic, political, and strategic considerations. First, there's the issue of trade deficits. This is a significant concern for many policymakers. A trade deficit occurs when a country imports more goods than it exports. This imbalance can have various economic implications. The United States has a big trade deficit with China, and the government wants to change that. They see this as a way to protect American jobs and industries. They believe tariffs will make American-made products more appealing and reduce our reliance on Chinese goods. This could potentially revitalize domestic manufacturing. Then there's the concern about unfair trade practices. This is another major point of contention. The United States government accuses China of things like stealing intellectual property and giving unfair advantages to their own companies. These practices are seen as harmful to American businesses. And let's not forget about illegal immigration and drug trafficking. These issues also play a role in the tariff strategy. The Trump administration has argued that tariffs are a necessary tool to pressure Mexico into doing more to secure its border and stem the flow of drugs into the United States. They believe this will enhance national security. Of course, not everyone buys these arguments. There is significant opposition from various sectors. Critics say that tariffs are basically a tax on American consumers and businesses. They argue that the costs will ultimately be passed down to the end users, and that they're likely to hurt the United States economy more than they help. The debate continues with strong opinions on both sides of the issue. Some folks, including some politicians, have floated the idea of using tariff revenue to replace income tax. Sounds great, right? No more paying taxes on your hard-earned money. But hold your horses, folks. It's not that simple. First of all, tariffs are a pretty unreliable source of income. If people stop buying imported goods because they're too expensive, guess what? The government collects less tariff revenue. Second, tariffs can actually hurt economic growth. When prices of imported goods go up, businesses that rely on those goods have to raise their prices too. This can lead to inflation, which means your money buys you less stuff. And that's not good for anyone. So while the idea of replacing income tax with tariff revenue might sound appealing at first glance, it's not a realistic or sustainable solution in the long run, unfortunately. Thanks for watching the Think Tank. We would love to hear your comments. Like, share and subscribe.